If you're a woman over 60, the real secret to staying independent, active, and unapologetically strong is more than just random workouts. It's about training the 12 movements that actually matter in everyday life, from lifting grandkids, getting up from the floor, as well as safely carrying heavy things. We'll show you how to train each movement right from the comfort of your home. This is how you age strong, not frail. Now, let's become unbreakable together. Gait. It's one of those things that we all do every day. We walk along. Many of us walk along with a limp or walk along just stooped over. But let's start standing tall. So every time that we walk along, think about being the Queen of Sheba. We're tall, our shoulders are back in their shoulder blades. We're standing tall, we're looking ahead. We might want to look that there's no curb, but we're going to walk along with good execution. So we're walking along, maybe even walk backwards or walk to the side, but I want you standing tall. So every time you go to the shops, think about standing tall and being proud of who you are. But while standing tall, we just start to be able to lift up a bit higher, and we walk taller, our gait's going to be a lot better. If you walk with a limp or something's not quite right with your gait, it may be time to go see your exercise physiologist and get some ideas on where you're tight, where things might not be working properly, so you do walk properly and walk tall. Carrying. We all need to carry, whether it's the groceries from the grocery store out to the car, whether it's our grandchild on our hip, whether it's something we've got in front. We might have just made a whole pile of soup in our cast iron pot and we have to carry it from the stove over to the bench top. So we carry a lot. In life we carry, and we need to be able to carry well. So carrying builds grip strength, it builds shoulder strength, core stability, it builds a lot of things. So when we carry, being able to carry standing tall, much along the lines of gait, standing tall, we need to be able to walk along, change hands, and with both hands we need to be able to carry the same way without kind of leaning over to one side, or it could be that we're trying to walk over the other side. When we go to the airport, if you're like me and I like to keep as light as I can so I don't have a bag on wheels, then I'm carrying my bag and I need to be able to carry well. So standing tall, standing upright and looking ahead as I carry. So squatting. The squat is the basic move we do every time we go to the toilet or every time we get down and up off a seat. So think about a squat being where we keep our chest up, we sink into the heels, sit back, leaning forward, push up into our heels and stand tall. Now some of you will rely on hands to push up with, but sometimes in life, if you come along to the cardiothoracic ward that I'm on and you actually have open heart surgery, you're not allowed to use your hands. They do not want that wound to break open. So then it's great to learn to just be able to sit and stand without hands. A squat is a very common thing that we do every day. Every day we're doing lots of squats. The ways that you can work squats is that, you know, you can have a band here and then sitting down into that. So that will work our squats. And also we can just be doing the squat down and up off the chair. We can also have a kettlebell squat as well. And so actually working into that a little bit more. For those of you who don't have good knees, you may find that the wider squat suits your purpose a bit better. So as we come down and up, we're actually using these inner thighs a little bit more then, and still using our quadriceps, but a little bit more of the inner thigh, so it allows us to do a bit more of that squat. So don't let stiff knees or weak legs hold you back from doing squats, and start where you can. Deadlifts are a move that we do probably as much as squats every day, particularly if we need to bend over and pick something up from the floor. So it could be that I'm from here and I bend and pick up something. Over here, I bend. So a deadlift is where we're coming forward. It can be more of a straight one. Most of us will do it with a bent one, and we can also do that with a wide-legged one as well, but we're keeping that back straight. Why do we need to deadlift? Well, we may pick up a pot plant from our garden and move it across to the other place. We may pick up a grandchild off the floor. So many things that we need to pick up off the floor, and we need to do it correctly. Some great ways after you've got the the main way of doing a deadlift, then you can actually have a weight in front of you coming up. We can have this weight here, making sure that we pretend there's a plum under each armpit, and coming up, every time we come up, we squeeze those glute cheeks. So as we come forward, we've got our core on, our back stays straight. As we come up, we're squeezing those glute cheeks. Handy for many, many things that we do in life, and we want to do it safely to protect that back. Lifting overhead, lifting overhead. How important is that? Because if we need to put something up on a high shelf in our pantry, or we need to reach up and put our bag on the plane, our overnight bag on the plane, we need to be able to reach up and reach overhead. So keeping these shoulders nice and strong is a great way of doing things. Hey, we may even want to get our grandchild and throw them up in the air, throw them up in the air again, and hear their wild giggles as we do it. Some great ways to train overhead is being able to have weights that we lift up, lifting up, or we can have a barbell or both weights together, or being able to just lifting out to the front, so a front raise. It can be done a number of ways. It can be done underhand and overhand, and then being able to lift up to the air. So training these shoulders to be able to reach up overhead is a really important one. If your shoulders don't like a big lift overhead, you may just come to here. And you'll tell you, if I had my hands on your shoulders, you're still working. So it could be that you only have that range of motion with your shoulders at this point in time. You might have had an injury, but you will still be working those shoulders. So do what you can, and if you need to reduce the range of motion, do it. Now, lunging. Lunging is important for those times that we need to, I've got a broom here to help me balance in a minute, but lunging is important for those times we need to step over something. So it's an exaggeration of a normal walk. So being able to step and hold our balance and then maybe keep walking. Or it can be that there's a gap in the pavement and we need to step over where some workmen have been and then step over again. Or can it even be stepping up on a step? So lunging is anywhere where we need to take ourselves on one leg for a moment and then being able to balance at the same time. A few ways you can do lunges. It can be that we have a broomstick or a mop, and then both legs face the front, and we're coming down to where we can. Now you may find that your knees don't like a lunge, so then maybe try a shorter stance lunge, otherwise a big lunge. So there's a few ways that we can do that. We can also hold on to the wall when we do a lunge. We can tap in lunge, we can step out lunge, we can side lunge, we can back lunge. So all sorts of lunges. It's where we can hold ourselves on one leg as we take the other leg in the direction that we need it to be. So lunging can be fantastic because it builds and strengthens each leg individually and helps you balance, and then helps you move confidently, whether it's forward, side or backward, on one leg for a short period of time. So fantastic to be able to lunge. And you never know, if you're out in the bush like me and you love bushwalking and you're walking along and you come over, go over the log and then you see a curled up snake there, an extra big lunge, and then you keep walking. And that has happened on more than one occasion. Or it could be you're out in the bush and a big log is there and we need to step over that, do a big lunge step over it. So it could come in handy for whatever you need it for. Why do we need to push? Could be that we've got to push a stroller. Could be twins in that stroller. We've got to push along as the grandmother. Could be that we're going through a department store and we need to push that door. Some of them can be very heavy. So pushing can be quite a common thing as well. We may want to push like our chair along. This doesn't push too well, but pushing our chair or our couch in a little bit better position in our lounge room. So some of the ways we would do push-ups, training quite a bit of the chest muscles, shoulder muscles and some back, is that we can be over a chair. We can be holding that core on and bringing it forward and back. You may not come far at first. You may just do like a small way down. Just try not to let those hips come down because then that back's taking over. So you want to keep those hips up, just a little bend from those arms. You may choose to do it on a wall. So you'll be on the wall, you'll come a little way forward and bring it back in again. The more out to the side, if your shoulders can cope with that, the more chest, at a 45-degree angle, a bit more triceps involved, but still chest. And so there's certainly ways that we can practice our push-up. You can be doing a push-up on the floor as well. There's so many ways that we can do it, and so many times that we'll need the push-up moves in everyday life. Pulling, so where we pull back. So that pulling back helps us to stand upright better, keeps our shoulders strong, helps our posture. But pulling back also is wonderful. So if you need to start that lawnmower, it could be that you're pulling that back, you're pulling that lawnmower on. It could be the weeds you want in the garden and you're trying to weed and pulling out that really stubborn weed that won't come out. So we're trying to pull that back. So really important to keep those back muscles strong, particularly when you're at a computer all day and you're typing away, you get rounded shoulders, your head protrudes forward that little bit more, and we get short and tight in our chest and we get very weak in our back. So really important to do things that pull that back. And some of the ways to do that is with a band. We may have that attached to a door and we're pulling this elbow right back. So we're getting some upper back work. It could be that we have a kettlebell or a dumbbell and we're rowing back and really trying to draw that shoulder blade up and back whenever we pull that elbow up. So some simple ways to train that back, and it will really help you to prevent that kyphosis, that hump that many people, older people get in their upper back, their thoracic area. So help to contain that, keep it at bay, and get that strong back. Hey, great if you want to go stand up paddle boarding or kayaking as well. Twisting is a part of everyday life. Hey, it could be that you're simply turning on your computer in the morning from the back. It could be that you're putting your grandchild into their car seat. There's a lot of twisting with that. It could be that you're simply getting into your own car and they're needing to get the seat belt from the side. So twisting is quite a common move in everyday life as well, and we need to be able to protect that back. When we do need to twist, we need to know how to turn that core on. So really important. Some twisting things that we might do to be able to improve that is taking a weight side to side. It may be that we just need to take a stretch, an extra stretch. So every time that we've worked out, we really take that extra stretch, because every time we drive, we need to look over a shoulder to have a look and make sure there's no cars coming. We just can't rely on those side mirrors. And the other way that we can work out that twist is we can have a band attached to something, and then I'm just going to bring this around to the side. So as I bring that around, I can feel my core working, and I'm just strengthening up these obliques that attach into the back that help us to actually do that twist and turn. There's so many ways we can do it. So again, a band here, so we're going to really rotate as we bring that forward. Lots of ways to practice our twisting for those times when we need it. So a crawl trains your shoulders, core, coordination, and in fact, really important if you have a fall and need to get up from the floor. So these are some different types of crawls and different ways that you can start training yourself for a crawl. And there's nothing more fun than being down on the floor with a grandchild, playing around with them. So much fun. So some of the ways to crawl are going back to our baby days, our crawling days, where we just took a opposite hand, opposite leg. So hand, leg, hand, leg, hand, leg. We can go backwards as well, always a bit of a challenge. Now, if your knees don't like that, you can actually take your bottom up in the air, higher, and you can crawl along the same way. Hand, leg, hand, leg, hand, leg, hand, leg, and take it back. Now, so then another way to crawl is down low, so we get really low, and then we're kind of slinking along the floor really low. But that's kind of a more of an advanced one. And then the other reason it's good to crawl, and this came in handy for me when I climbed a mountain and it had signs all over the place saying, be careful, this mountain is dangerous when it's wet, because it was all granite rock on the way down. And my brand new shoes, which were vinyl, and they weren't my rubber ones, I wore the wrong shoes, I kept slipping. So this was the way that I went down the mountain. And you know what? It could be that you do a part one of this. I also my foot got rolled by a dog at the dog beach. two big husky dogs came flying at me from the back. I didn't see them, sent me flying, rolled my ankle on the way down. So this was the way I got up from the beach. So these crawls can come in handy, or a version of them. You may want to take one foot, you may break a leg while you're out on a reserve and it's cold night and you need to get home. So you're either going forward or backwards with one leg, and it can be a lifesaver. So rolling, being able to roll on the floor is actually, and in bed, is a really important skill, because if you potentially come into the hospital as a patient and you need to go into a pan and you can't roll, that makes a lot more work for the nurses, and you'll feel far better if you can roll. You'll be far more comfortable without having to rely on someone to roll you. But it's also fun to play around the floor with your grandkids, and it may be that if you've had a fall, we need to be able to roll so that we can get back onto our knees again. There's some of the ways to be able to roll. You can actually take up your knees and you can just roll that whole body holus bolus. You might want a nice pillow under your head, but we'll just take these legs side to side. So a whole body roll. Now, the other way you can take that a bit harder, you can take your legs out straight and roll side to side. And if that's easy, you can bring your legs up in the air, but still try and roll your whole body. Happy to have a pillow under your head. I don't want you to get a sore neck with this, but feel free to have a pillow there. Now, if that becomes too easy, you can grab a weight, and then you can be rolling with a weight. This is like having a grandkid on you on the floor. You can get used to being able to roll that little bit further and do a little bit more with a grandchild on you. Lovely. Well done. Rolling can be a wonderful thing to do. And who wants to stay in bed in one spot all night? Honestly, if you're a side liar like me, being able to roll side to side is so nice to be able to do. So getting down and up off the floor is an essential skill. And look, it's fine if you can crawl over to a bit of furniture and help yourself up that way. But what if you're out walking, you're on a reserve or something, it's getting late at night, it's getting colder, and you've had a fall and you need to get yourself up. You haven't actually hurt a leg, you haven't hurt anything, but you're stuck on the ground. This can be life or death. And I say that to all my clients in that every day, my older clients in their 80s and 90s get down and up off the floor most days so that they keep that movement going. You don't want to lose that. But hey, on the fun side, on the flip side, how wonderful to be able to lie on the floor and just play around with your kids and then know you can confidently get up. And this is going to help you to maintain independence at home for a long time. So I'm going to get down on the floor, just going to drop myself down here, and I'm going to start from lying on my back. I'm going to take one knee up because I'm going to come over this side, so work out which side you best come up on. Can try and come up onto one elbow, come up onto a hand, so I'm sitting, and then from sitting coming over onto your knees, so we're rolling over onto our knees. And for most people, it gets hard to do the lunge of the foot out, so I train my clients to come up here, so taking that bum, curl the toes under, take the bum right up in the air, and then we're just going to walk those hands back until we come up. Some ways to train this so you can get these arms stronger to come up. And you can be doing this on a chair if you don't want to come down to the floor right now, but being able to come down here, even if it's a small way, and coming back up again. Coming back up to here, walking out those hands and coming back up. So that's the last part of the workout that we do. You can even get your chair and you can be just having a hover over on the chair. So with that, so you can be on that chair and just having a hold here or a hold here. So you may not feel like you can come down on the floor at the moment, or you can do that crawl out on a sturdy coffee table. That might be how you do it for a start. And then the other way that we can train is if you are able to come down to the floor, just hands in front of you, curl those toes up under and just holding. So core is on, the tongue is on the roof of your mouth. We're just taking these knees up from the floor for a moment and off we go again. And coming up here, you can be doing the same thing in a chair, just doing a lean forward so we get stronger arms and a stronger core all ready for it. And the one thing I would say is whatever you find hard to do, keep doing it, because those are the things we need to focus on more. The things that we find hard, we need to keep doing them, because if we don't, we'll lose that ability and then it's gone. So keep trying to work on the things that you can't do well. Have fun with it.